Hey everyone, it's Untitled with a little bit different video this time, as I will be talking about GeForce Now and Fallout 76. As you probably know, GeForce Now just launched like a day or 2 days ago, and now you can play PC games directly from the cloud on your Android phone, on your laptop or your Mac, or on your NVIDIA Shield. Unfortunately, so far you cannot play it on iPhones, and my phone is an iPhone, but I was able to test it on some old Android phone and it works as well. It's very simple. You just, after installing the GeForce Now's app, if it will be for PC or the phone, doesn't matter, and registering new account for GeForce Now, you just type in the game. Like I have already found Fallout 76. You have plenty of games, but I'm talking only about Fallout because that would interest me. Then Fallout 76, I have it already added to my library. It doesn't require any installation. As well, I upgraded to Founders Edition. And now let's jump directly into the game. You will see how it works. I have Fallout 76 in here, and my setting at this moment is custom. You have max bitrate to auto resolution 1080p. It's the maximum you can get. 60 FPS, it's the maximum as well. You cannot go higher unless you will choose competitive, but don't do it. If you see the details in here, it's 720p and then you have 120 FPS. It's not worth it. I tested it already. Data saver, if you are on the mobile data, then it's probably useful. Balance is pretty good, but I like custom because I have vsync disabled. It seems to improve the input lag by a bit. And actually the input lag is not a problem, at least with my connection. And I need to say that my connection is really good. I will show you my connection. I will do the quick test. You have a test for your network in here as well. And as you can see, for me, the bandwidth is way above 50. Latency is 16 milliseconds, then it's much lower than recommended, and the lower the better. And frame loss is 0. Then it's as good connection as it can be, and it's pretty much required for any cloud gaming. Now let's jump into the game. It's how it looks when it's connecting you, and it will start the Bethesda launcher as well. But you cannot swap and do anything with the games during this launcher. You need to launch the game that you choose from the library. It says downloading Bethesda Net Launcher, but it's actually not downloading it. Just I don't know what it's doing, but it's way too fast to download anything, and the download size is 0 megabytes. And here you need to log in into your account. I will skip the part when I'm putting in my credentials. And then you just wait for the game to launch. You don't actually need to do anything in here. It will launch automatically. You just need to wait a little bit. And here we are in the game, main menu. Oh, and what I forget to tell you, this video is not sponsored. None of my videos is sponsored by anyone. It's my absolutely honest opinion about the product and how it works, because I'm just curious about all the new tech, and in this case you can try it for free. That is especially worth it. Now the first downside, if you go into the settings and display, you actually cannot change it. It's always low. If you try to change it, it will not save. Only the texture quality seems to save, because last time it was high, I changed to ultra and it stays, and the other settings does not change, unfortunately. Now let's see how it's run. Choose everything like normally, and the input lag, it's like almost non-existence. It's really hard to tell that it's actually not played locally. Okay, and we're finally loading in, and actually the loading time isn't any faster than what you will normally expect from the mid-range PC. Okay, let's go to some place that everyone know, Westec. And you can see how long fast travel will take. I will not skip it, just to give you some idea how are the loading times that you can compare to whatever your loading times. But I will tell you that in case when I'm running locally on my machine, it is faster. Then for whatever reason, GeForce is not like, the hardware doesn't seem to be so great as they advertised. Input lag, that's perfect. I almost cannot tell there is any input lag, and you will see in action if I will be able to hit. But if you look at the shadows, this is very low quality because all the settings are as low as possible and you cannot change those settings. It's quite terrible. But apart from that, the game is running quite good, but I can already tell there are some lost frames, and it's not because of my connection. I'm just guessing it's the NVIDIA hardware. It's not as powerful as it's supposed to be. As you can see, you can fight just okay. That you cannot really tell there is delay. Maybe just very small, but the input lag, I cannot complain. I can play with this input lag. It's running just fine. The problem is that the game occasionally is losing frames. Then I can tell you it's not locked to 60 FPS. It's losing frames, and I'm expecting it's the hardware just not as good as you would expect from NVIDIA. Or maybe just Fallout isn't really too well optimized for the cloud gaming. Let's see inside. As you can see, it's running quite okay, but there are some small stutters occasionally. And I need to tell that there are some small stutters, and now sometimes, like at this moment, there's much more stutters. It could be connected with network issues. I'm not sure why it's happening, or the game optimization. And now it's back to running about smoothly. And I can hit them, then it's no delay. You cannot feel any trigger delay or anything like that. Only moment when I can actually tell it's not played locally and I can feel a little bit of the input lag is when I open the map and I move my cursor. I can feel a little bit of the input lag, but it's really not much. It's really okay. It's probably the same like what you will get playing on the consoles anyway and on the TV. But the game is definitely occasionally losing the frames, and sometimes there is a small stutter. If you want to see exactly, then just can play a little bit in slow motion on YouTube, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. You will see that some frames are missing, and occasionally there are stutters. Know that it's harder to spot on YouTube than you actually play, and you can feel it, but you will be able to see it on slow motion. Okay, here we are at the White Spring area. Let's try to run a little bit. You can see how it's going. Maybe we'll blow up some cars. Okay, let's blow up some cars. Yeah, definitely some frames were lost. I think it is the hardware. Not strong enough. Couple more cars blowing up. Let's explode more cars. I would say how the game runs, it's comparable to something like, I think, slightly weaker than GeForce 1060 if you will play it locally. GeForce 1060 will get a little bit better performance, but it can be related to game optimization. And to just very quickly summarize what I think about GeForce Now and Fallout 76, input lag, it's absolutely no problem. It's almost as good as playing locally, at least in my case. About the graphics, yeah, the hardware definitely needs some upgrade on maybe some optimization for Fallout 76 because graphics looks bad, but definitely game is playable. Plus you can launch it on the phone. What's a great perk. And most importantly, it's free, even if you opt for the Founders Edition that I did, hoping for better graphic performance. It actually doesn't change the graphic performance. Okay, let me know guys, what do you think about GeForce Now? Did you try it? You had a good experience with that? Please let me know. And see you guys in the next one.